Master Your Mind, From Inner Struggle to Inner Freedom. Something that truly ignites your spirit, something that makes your heart beat faster with excitement. Maybe it's the dream of finally launching your own business, stepping confidently into the next chapter of your career, or even taking that story that has been living inside your mind for years and letting it flow onto the page. In that first moment of inspiration, you feel an incredible surge of energy, a spark that whispers, "This is possible. This is meant for you." For a brief instant, it feels like the whole universe is on your side. But almost instantly, that familiar voice inside your head begins to speak. It questions you, doubts you, and fills you with hesitation. You're not ready. You might embarrass yourself. What will everyone else think? And just like that, the fire begins to dim. What you're experiencing is not just a simple flicker of doubt. It is the quiet yet exhausting battle that so many of us fight every single day. It's a war that doesn't take place outside, but inside the mind. This cycle isn't just about a fleeting thought. It feels more like a spiral, a loop of self-criticism and harsh inner talk that blocks you from even taking the very first step toward your dreams. Before you know it, you feel drained, overwhelmed, and silently frustrated with yourself. You start wishing you could just move out of your own way, that you could somehow stop being your own greatest obstacle. Here is the gentle truth. Your mind has the power to be your most trusted companion, guiding you toward growth and fulfillment. Or it can become your sharpest enemy, keeping you trapped in fear and hesitation. The difference lies not in your worth or your abilities, but in who you allow to take control of the conversation within. And what if I told you this inner war doesn't have to continue, that you are not powerless against it, and there are grounded, practical ways to quiet the critic inside and nurture the voice that believes in you? Today, we will walk through those tools together. And no, this isn't about forcing yourself to just think positive or pretending that everything is fine. This is about something much deeper, rewiring the very patterns of thought that have kept you stuck, reshaping the way your mind responds to fear and possibility. By the time we reach the end of this journey, you will hold in your hands a toolkit, gentle yet powerful, capable of helping you calm that relentless inner critic. You will learn how to shift into a place of focus, resilience, and inner strength you may not have realized was already within you all along. This isn't just about reaching your goals. It's about reclaiming the peace and confidence you deserve to feel as you move toward them. Section 1. Acknowledge and detach. The power of observation. The very first step, and perhaps the most transformative one, is learning how to stop fighting with your own thoughts. I know this might feel counterintuitive. Our natural instinct is to push back, to argue, to wrestle those thoughts into silence. We tell ourselves, if I resist hard enough, they'll disappear. But what actually happens? The more you struggle, the stronger they become. Resisting gives them fuel. Instead of waging that exhausting battle, I invite you to shift into the role of an observer. This is the heart and soul of mindfulness, the gentle art of noticing what arises in your mind without judging it, without labeling yourself because of it, and without letting it define you. Imagine for a moment that you are sitting quietly on the bank of a wide flowing river. The water drifts past, calm and steady. Now picture your thoughts as leaves floating along its surface. Some leaves are light and joyful. Others are heavy with worry. Some are simply random fragments of memory or distraction. Your role is not to dive into the water and chase every leaf. Your only task is to sit in stillness and notice them pass by. So the next time that inner voice tells you you're going to fail, rather than spiraling into panic, take a breath and simply observe it. Name it gently. Ah, there's the fear of failure again. By giving it a label, you create a little space between yourself and the thought. That tiny gap is powerful because it reminds you of this truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness observing them. And here's the beautiful part. Science supports this. Practices like mindfulness meditation have shown that when you consistently notice and label your thoughts without judgment, your brain begins to change. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your mind responsible for clarity, reasoning, and decision-making, grows stronger. Meanwhile, the amygdala, the alarm system that triggers fear and anxiety, starts to quiet down. Slowly, you begin to respond to life with a sense of calm presence instead of reacting on autopilot. So, here's your first move on this journey. When a negative thought rises, don't wrestle with it. Don't give it more energy than it deserves. Simply acknowledge it, call it what it is, just a thought, and allow it to float by like that leaf on the river. Think of this as exercising a new mental muscle. The more you practice, the stronger you become at remaining centered, steady, and calm, no matter what stories your mind decides to throw at you. Section 2. Reprogram with a growth mindset. The power of yet. Now that you've learned how to observe your thoughts without being carried away by them, it's time for the next step, rewriting the script that plays inside your mind. This is where transformation begins. Many of us remain stuck in what Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck describes as a fixed mindset. In this mindset, we believe that our intelligence, talents, and abilities are predetermined, unchangeable traits we were either born with or not. Living with a fixed mindset feels heavy. Every challenge starts to look like a final exam where you might be exposed as a fraud. Every failure seems terrifying because it feels permanent, like a verdict on who you are as a person rather than just on what you attempted. With this belief, mistakes are no longer moments of learning. They are labels you fear will follow you forever. But there is another way, a mindset that opens the door to freedom and possibility, the growth mindset. At its core, this is the belief that your abilities can be developed through effort, practice, and the willingness to learn. It's the understanding that your brain is not fixed in place. It is dynamic, adaptable, and capable of change. Thanks to the science of neuroplasticity, we now know that the brain can literally rewire itself, creating new pathways as you practice new skills and stretch beyond your comfort zone. When you adopt a growth mindset, the landscape of life begins to shift. Challenges are no longer threats, they are invitations. Failure stops being a brand burned into your identity and instead becomes what it was always meant to be: feedback, guidance, a stepping stone toward growth. You start to see that every difficulty carries within it the seed of progress. So how do you begin to live this way? It can start with a single word, a small, almost ordinary word that has extraordinary power, yet. The next time your inner critic whispers, "I can't do this," gently add one word to the end, yet. I can't do this, yet. I don't understand this, yet. I'm not good enough, yet. It seems simple, but notice how everything changes. A statement that once felt like a dead end now becomes a bridge. It leaves space for growth, for patience, for learning. It suggests that with time, practice, and perseverance, you will get there. That tiny word reopens a door that your mind tried to close. Living with a growth mindset means shifting your focus. Instead of constantly worrying about looking smart, you devote yourself to becoming smarter. Instead of attaching your worth only to results, you begin to fall in love with the process, the daily effort, the small steps, the quiet progress that accumulates into mastery. This shift is more than just positive thinking. It is the very foundation of resilience. It's what allows some people to rise again and again after setbacks, while others give up at the first obstacle. With a growth mindset, you begin to understand that success is not about never falling. It's about cultivating the strength and patience to rise, learn, and keep moving forward every single time. Section 3. Reframe your reality. The art of positive framing. Your mind is, in many ways, a storyteller. From the moment you wake until the moment you drift off to sleep, It is busy weaving narratives to explain what's happening around you and within you. This is how the brain makes sense of the world. It strings together meaning. But here's the challenge. The mind is not always a kind or accurate narrator. Because of what psychologists call the negativity bias, your brain is naturally wired to scan for danger and threats. It's a survival mechanism that helped our ancestors stay alive, but in daily life, it often distorts reality. What this means is that your mind will take an ordinary, neutral event and twist it into the worst-case scenario. A simple mistake can suddenly become a catastrophe in your head. A small silence in a conversation may be exaggerated into a story of rejection. The facts themselves are not the problem. It's the story your brain chooses to tell about them. This is where you can step in with the gentle but powerful practice of cognitive reframing. Reframing is not about forcing fake happiness, nor is it about denying or ignoring real challenges. Instead, it is about pausing, questioning your first automatic interpretation, and asking, is there a kinder, more empowering way to view this? Let's take an example. Imagine you finally launched that long-awaited project, and it fails to take off. The automatic story might sound like this. This was a disaster. I'm a failure. I wasted so much time. That version of the story leaves you feeling defeated, drained, and ready to quit. But reframing allows you to ask different questions. What did I learn from this? What feedback is hidden in this experience? How can I use this information to make my next attempt stronger? Notice what happens. The facts haven't changed. The project still didn't succeed, but your perspective has. Failure is no longer a permanent label. It becomes a teacher, a stepping stone, a piece of valuable data that guides your growth. With this shift, you don't just move forward, you move forward with wisdom. And reframing isn't just for big life events. It can transform the little frustrations of daily life as well. Say you're stuck in traffic. The negative frame says, "This is terrible, I'm late, my whole day is ruined." The reframe says, "Well, here's some unexpected quiet time. Maybe this is the perfect chance to breathe, listen to that podcast I've been saving, or simply sit with my thoughts without rushing." The traffic doesn't vanish, but your relationship with the moment softens, and so does the stress. The way to build this habit is by gently questioning the automatic thoughts that rush in. When the inner critic speaks up, don't just accept it as the truth. Cross-examine it. Ask yourself, is this thought completely true? Does it actually help me? More often than not, you'll discover that these thoughts are not facts at all. They are emotional assumptions shaped by fear, not by reality. Each time you choose a more useful frame, you reclaim a little more power over your inner world. Over time, this becomes second nature. You begin to see that you are not just at the mercy of your thoughts. You are the author of how you interpret them. And when you reclaim the role of storyteller, you also reclaim the ability to live with more calm, clarity, and possibility. Section 4. Implement a keystone habit, the morning mindset routine. It's one thing to understand these tools in theory, but the truth is that knowledge alone won't change your life. What truly matters is putting these ideas into practice. To take lasting control of your mind, you need supportive habits, small, consistent rituals that anchor you in clarity and strength. The world's most successful and fulfilled people don't rely only on motivation. They rely on what are known as keystone habits. Simple practices that spark a ripple effect, influencing everything else in their day. For the journey we're on together, that keystone habit is a morning mindset routine. Why the morning? Because the way you begin your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If the very first thing you do is reach for your phone, scrolling through anxious news updates, stressful work emails, and the endless comparisons of social media, you've already surrendered control of your mind to the outside world. You start the day on defense, reacting instead of leading. But when you claim your mornings with intention, everything changes. A thoughtful morning routine doesn't need to be long or complicated. Even 10 to 15 minutes of focused practice can shift your mindset and reshape the energy you carry into the rest of your day. Let's explore 3 simple practices you can begin as soon as tomorrow morning. First, gratitude. Before your feet even touch the ground, pause and call to mind 3 specific things you're truly grateful for. They don't have to be grand or extraordinary. It could be the comfort of your bed, the sound of birds outside your window, or the love of someone who supports you. Science consistently shows that gratitude rewires your brain to notice the good, lifting your happiness and reducing stress. Write these moments down in a journal, whisper them to yourself, or simply hold them quietly in your heart. Second, visualization. Close your eyes for a few minutes and imagine your day unfolding in the best possible way. Picture yourself navigating challenges with calmness, clarity, and strength. Then, zoom out to see your bigger vision, the goals and dreams you're moving toward. Feel the joy and pride of having already achieved them. By doing this, you prime your brain to recognize the people, opportunities, and choices that align with that vision, guiding you toward it almost naturally. Third, affirmations. An affirmation is simply a positive statement you repeat to strengthen a belief. The secret is to make it feel authentic and believable, instead of jumping to something that feels disconnected from your reality, like, I am already a millionaire. Choose affirmations that acknowledge your strengths and your capacity for growth. For example, I am resourceful. I take consistent, wise steps toward financial security. Speak these affirmations out loud, and more importantly, feel them as truths. Over time, you are gently programming your subconscious mind to align with your highest potential. This simple trio, gratitude, visualization, and affirmation, places you back in the driver's seat each morning. It signals to your brain and your spirit that you are not beginning the day at the mercy of the world, but rooted in your own inner strength. It's a daily declaration that you are capable, intentional, and in control. So far, we've explored powerful tools, from learning to watch your thoughts drift by like leaves on a river, to reframing your reality with kinder interpretations, to now designing a morning routine that empowers you. Each of these practices builds on the others, helping you take command of your inner world step by step. And now I'd love to ask you, which of these practices resonates most deeply with you? Which one are you willing to begin tomorrow morning? Sometimes simply declaring your intention, even in writing, becomes the first act of accountability. Remember, mastering your mind is not a one-time victory. It is a practice, a commitment you return to daily. It's the ongoing realization that you are not defined by your thoughts. You are the one observing them. You are the architect of your mental landscape. With that awareness, you can learn to let thoughts pass without being controlled by them, to rewrite the stories that once held you back, and to plant new beliefs that carry you forward. It all begins with noticing. It grows stronger when you reframe setbacks as stepping stones, and it becomes a way of life when you reinforce it with daily habits. As you practice these tools, you will notice something profound. You are no longer a prisoner of your own mind. You are its master. You move from inner conflict to inner alignment, where your thoughts, feelings, and actions begin working together in harmony, pulling you toward the life you truly desire. At the end of the day, the most important battles are not fought in the world around you, but in the quiet space between your own ears. And when you learn to win that battle, not by force, but by awareness, compassion, and practice, you unlock the ability to shape your entire life. So begin today. Take control of that space. Because when you do, you're not just mastering your mind, you're reclaiming the freedom and peace that belong to you. Thank you for spending this time with us today. If these words have offered you even a little comfort or clarity, consider sharing them with someone who might also need a gentle reminder of hope. And if you'd like to continue walking this path together, Don't forget to subscribe to Everyday Whisper Stories, a space where quiet reflections nurture the mind, uplift the heart, and bring peace to the soul. Until we meet again, keep moving with faith, keep holding on to kindness, and trust that your season will arrive in its own perfect time.